on.
What's up, everybody? It's Casey with Two Worlds Podcast, and with me, as always, it's the Ezra Miller. To my assaulting people at karaoke, it's Jake. How you doing, buddy?
I'm okay. I haven't assaulted anyone today, though.
Well, I'm the one doing the assaulting. You're just Ezra Miller.
Oh, well, I don't want to be Ezra Miller either.
Fair enough.
But I have to ask, Casey, what does that mean?
Being Ezra Miller?
Your whole
or just
opening.
Assaulting people? Okay, so over I think it would have been around when we were recording last week, and stuff. They got in trouble because they assaulted someone at karaoke. That's how it started. Someone was singing a song, and Ezra, I don't know what was going through their head, but they got mad and attacked. So it's like, oh, okay, well, that's crazy. Probably got too drunk, whatever. Doesn't stop there. They ended up showing up at a person's house, and this person now filed for a restraining order on Ezra at someone's house. The guy was in bed with his wife. Ezra shows up. He's like, I will bury you and your whore. I think he said whore or slut wife, which that's a crazy way to wake up. Especially with it being just like creepy Ezra Miller yelling in your face. It's like, I mean, I don't know. He's in that new Harry Potter movie coming out. So it's like Flash. And I don't know who they are in that, but
they're not good.
Yeah. Okay. Bad guy from Fantastic Beasts. What are you doing here? And he's like, I'm gonna bury you. Like, okay. I wish you wouldn't.
So, has anything come of this?
I think they were arrested, but that's all I've,
Okay.
I don't think Warner Brothers has said anything about it. I don't think they care. So
I wonder if, something that comes to mind is is he going to get taken off Flash? Is that movie now canceled? Who knows?
I doubt it. I mean, this is to me, it's one of those things where it'd be a bigger deal if Flash had already come out, because then that would elevate Ezra. But since Flash hasn't come out yet, they'll just be like, we'll wait a little bit, then it'll come out, and everyone will forget, because Ezra's still like a B-list, C-list actor, so it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
Apparently he's an A-list barrier.
Yeah, that's true. He's a heck of a grave digger.
Yeah.
But
all right, well, I guess we'll report back in the coming weeks if anything comes of the Crypt Keeper himself. Anyway, man, how was your week?
It was good. Me and the girlfriend were both just we just want to get away, so we planned a little getaway to Louisville, and it was a good time. We went to the Louisville Slugger Museum and Factory, which you might think this is cool since you're an Orioles fan. One of the Orioles players, I don't know nothing about baseball, but one of the Orioles players, it had all of his I'm blanking on what they call it, but the stuff, the wood that they use before they're turning to bats, had all of his piled up. He went through and picked out all of his stuff. I'm like, that's really neat.
But like an active player?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Because basically these players can go there and pick out the type of wood, the weight, all that stuff.
It's like picking a Harry Potter wand.
Yeah, exactly. This is the picking the Harry Potter wand before that was a thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
Because they've been doing it for years. But yeah, so that was really cool. And then we also went to the Muhammad Ali Center, and that was really neat too. And then I found out my girlfriend's really good at the speed bag. I don't know if you've ever used a speed bag before, but I suck at them. I cannot get the timing right. And then she just was like, sure, I'll try. I'm like, that's such a weird thing you're good at, hon.
Right.
And
turns out she's like a boxer on the weekends, like a street boxer.
And
So
then
was it better than the last trip you guys took?
yeah,
Okay.
because in Nashville, like we didn't like neither of us really drink anymore as Jake sipped some of the devil's juice. And so it's like, oh, okay. And then like we don't like country music. So I'm like, she really want to go to Nashville. Like, we don't like country music. We don't really drink. So it's like, what's the point? But but yeah, with this, it was just kind of like it was cool seeing stuff and all that. So yeah, it was fun. What about you, man? Did you do anything? Maybe go on a podcast or something that I wasn't invited on?
Well, were we both going to DM?
Well, no, I mean I could have just been there, and be like, oh, this is cool, guys.
Take it up with them. But yes, I was invited onto the Testing Room podcast, which is just three of my buddies doing a video game podcast. And two of them had never played D&D before. So I said, if you guys ever wanted to play D&D for the podcast, I will run games for you, being a seasoned dungeon master. And they said, yeah, it sounds great. Let's do it. So we did our first outing on the campaign this week. So if you guys want to hear that, if you're into D&D, I would highly suggest you check it out. I even do a goblin voice, which is embarrassing,
Nice.
But you know what? You got to do it. So
Can you give us a little taste?
No, you have to go listen to this
Darn
podcast
it.
to find out.
Darn
That's my way to plug it.
Okay, there you go.
But check them out. They're the Testing Room podcast, and you can find them wherever you're listening to us right now.
Nice.
But anyway, hopefully we get to do more of that soon. But anyway, otherwise the week was good. And I started, here's the thing. Back in, when was it, like 2017 when the Switch came out, it debuted with Breath of the Wild. Have you played it?
I haven't.
Okay. Well, at the time I tried it and I couldn't really get into it because it just doesn't feel like a Zelda game to me. So I put like 12 hours in it and then I set it down and I never came back to it. Well, Breath of the Wild 2 came up this week that it got pushed back to 2023. And I thought, you know what? It's been several years. Maybe I should give it a try again. It's been 5 years since I played Zelda. Anyway, so I tried it again and I am enjoying it more this time around. So I spent a good chunk of the weekend playing Breath of the Wild.
Okay, dumb question. As your friend that used to be really into video games and isn't as much as he once was, but isn't Breath of the Wild kind of like Zelda meets like a Morrowind game, or is that oversimplifying it?
I mean, you can say that. It's very, very open. You can go to like any shrine and try any challenge. You can walk out of the first cutscene and go straight to Hyrule Castle and fight Ganon if you want to. There are people that have done it because you know how people are. They're insane at these games. So yeah, it's very, very open. There's lots to do, tons of like, find 999 seeds or whatever. But it's cool. And hopefully I make it farther than 12 hours and can beat the game this time.
Yeah, I'm rooting for you, buddy.
Thanks.
Just go straight to Ganon. I hear you can do that.
Yeah, no trouble.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get into our news. We have about the same. I'll go first because I have this one really short, stupid one that I just wanted to talk about. And I know you can guess which one it is. Yep. So in light of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie coming out, Sega has partnered with General Mills for a Sonic the Hedgehog cereal. And it looks cool. I think it looks cool now. I would have lost my mind for this as a kid. But it's just your generic cereal where like they're kind of like Cheerios, but they're the gold rings. And then the marshmallow bits are Chaos Emeralds and like Sonic's little spin dash icon. And those are blue and green. So it's a cool looking cereal. I'm not much of a cereal guy anymore because I it's sugary and not very good for you, so I try to stay away from it. But I might have to pick up a box just to support the Sonic.
Yeah, there you go, man. Like I want to pick up a box before I run the next race I run, and then eat that before, because I gotta go fast.
And then puke all of it up.
Dude, before I did my last Spartan, because like everyone that was at the hotel I was staying at were also doing Spartan races, and like trying to get the free continental breakfast, it did not work out for me the first time. So I stopped at a Burger King and I got like a croissant sandwich and potatoes, and surprisingly enough, I ran that so good. It was perfect. Like the fats and the carbs in that didn't cause me an issue until, like, after the race when I crap my brains out.
That's not how I thought that story was going to go.
Yeah,
So
no,
I'm glad
I mean,
it worked out.
I was a little worried about it because I'm like, this is not going to go well for me, but it was fine.
Well, yeah, maybe the old Sonic cereal would work out better.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope. Okay, so we got the new DC round robin that just started up. It started up last week. Did you look at it at all?
I didn't. I wanted to give genuine reactions to this. So,
well, it's a good thing because because the first week's already up. So some of these have been voted out. So yeah. But we got Hawkman and Hawkwoman, the Changeling. This is round 1 versus Wildcat 9 Lives. So the Hawkman and Hawkwoman have never had children together. They know that for a fact. Then who is Hector Hole, the hot-headed razor-winged teen who claims to be their son? Can they trust their own memories or each other? And the Wildcat 9 Lives. Wildcat spent 8 of his 9 lives showing the ropes to some of DC Universe's heaviest hitters, and he's got the scarred knuckles and reset bones to prove it. But now he's only got 1 more life to go. How fearless would you be if you knew it was your last round in the ring? So, as on the DC website, with 52%, Hawkman, Hawkwoman won out.
Now, did it give creative teams or anything?
Not yet. I think that's next round.
Okay.
And
both of those sound cool.
Yeah, that one was like, so it's funny, on my Twitter account, I voted for Wildcat. On the Two World podcast, I voted for Hawkman, Hawkwoman on your behalf.
I appreciate it.
But since this doesn't, I don't know if this counts the Twitters and the Instagrams. So first, I'm not for sure, but I know on Instagram, Wildcat was losing also. So it doesn't really matter. The next would be the questions, grand solution. What happens when people from all walks of life are activated as faceless vigilantes, each forced to solve an alternate reality game when the stakes are life and death? That's the question. But does Renee Montoya have the solution? Constantine and the Demon, Vacation from Hell. Arcane Guile meets Hellish Fury. John Constantine is forced to play host to Etrigan the Demon, and the pair embark on a deeply personal and potentially apocalyptic mission. Journeying back home to Liverpool, Constantine must confront ghosts from his past, and Etrigan isn't exactly his first choice of an ally. That one just sounds really silly to me, but that one's actually winning against the question. I voted for question every chance I got, because, how often do we get question book, even though it is Renee?
Well, that's the thing. So, like, I would have been like pretty on the fence, but then you said Renee, so I would vote Demon and Constantine.
Yeah. My whole thing with that too, that was like, I like Renee. Like, yeah. I have a fondness for Renee Montoya, and then then you factor in there's like 80 Constantine books. I like Constantine, but let's get something new in here.
I feel that, but I'm not voting for Constantine. I'm voting for the Demon.
Fair enough. So, Suicide Squad Dark, a team of occult misfits and monsters assembled by Amanda Waller and led by Vampire Batman and forced into a mind-melting suicide mission to assassinate Earth's 13 League of Shadows. Or Justice League Redacted, Green Arrow has watched many heroes, the great, the good, the kind, be forever scarred by the darkness they swear to fight. Rather than sit by and let any more of his friends fall to the festering abyss, he decides to create a Justice League Black Ops team of fighters who can survive a few more shadows, because as far as he's concerned, they may have already be lost. Green Arrow's team of Nemesis, Killer Frost, Manhunter, Metamorpho, and Cheshire are needed more than ever. Green Arrow has worried about what happens when you look at the abyss in the eye. That goes double when Johnny Sorrow and Merlin team up. So, which of those do you think sounds better?
I like that Justice League team, but at first I rolled my eyes when you said Suicide Squad. But then after you gave the description, I was like, that could be as stupid fun as Task Force Z is. So I'm gonna go Suicide Squad.
Justice League Redacted, according to this poll, is winning. That's the one I voted for. So I apologize that you're not going to get your Suicide Squad Dark. I'm sure there's going to be another.
Oh, they're
Suicide
still going to
book.
put that out. You know it.
Yeah. Firestorm. This one has probably my favorite title, even though I didn't vote for it. But Firestorm, Fourth World Problems.
Dude, tell me that's written by the guy that's writing One Star Squadron.
I mean, the only problem is we don't know, because this one's losing. But when Ronnie Raymond and Jason Rush make the startling discovery that the Firestorm Matrix contains a spark of the life equation, Darkseid and his army turn their sights toward the teenage nuclear heroes. But can Ronnie and Jason put their differences aside and combine into Firestorm, or will Darkseid claim the Matrix for himself and Apocalypse? And then Kid Flash, the speed of fear. Reverse Flash melds with Parallax, an unprecedented combination of the Speed Force and the fear-based yellow power ring to create a deadly speed ring to shatter Oa's central Green Lantern battery. A confused and isolated Kid Flash, Wallace West, since there's two of them, must chase Thawne across a variety of alien worlds to stop him, and the Sensor Core, while his own powers die because of Kid Flash's slow disconnection with the Speed Force. And yeah, Kid Flash is winning that one. It's kind of surprising no one, because it's Firestorm.
Yeah, like Firestorm can't hold a series, but his sounds way better than the Kid Flash one.
Yeah, but again, it's Kid Flash versus Firestorm. I don't think Kid Flash is getting out of the second round, sadly. But next up, Black Canary, When Canaries Cry. When Black Canary intercepts an intelligence operative trying to deliver sensitive material on an encrypted disk, she finds herself plunged into the world of espionage to contend with an international consortium known only as Mysterium. With the help of a French spy, Dinah must stop the Shadow Organization from instigating war for their own profit. And then Green Lantern, The Light at the End of Forever. A dark, far future, a galaxy gripped by tyranny, when an elderly farmer in a backwater system is brutalized by the latest thugs with jetpacks and jackboots to call themselves lawmen. He remembers a forgotten past, an era of champions, a cadre of noble peacekeepers long since vanished. His name, he's sure of it, is John Stewart. Whatever happened to the Green Lantern Corps? And is it too late to reignite the light? And that one's leading, but I'll be honest, I'm not a big enough Canary fan, and I thought they both sounded kind of trash.
Yeah, my initial thought was neither, but Canary doesn't get as much love, so I would vote for the underdog there.
Fair enough. Ghost Tower from Hell. A frantic mother begs for Madame Xanadu's help in finding her missing son. Last seen on a ghost tour with friends, Xanadu's readings reveal there is a nefarious being behind the disappearances in New Orleans. Enlisting the help of the demon Etrigan and Deadman, the trio quickly realize that they're on a ghost tour from hell, and they're no match for the supernatural kidnappers. Or Animal Man, the Metamorphosis. Buddy Baker, aka Animal Man, has serious problems. His home life is in shambles, his daughter's powers are awakening, and the world needs him, but he's stuck. He needs change. Soon, Animal Man will enter a cocoon, but when the metamorphosis is complete, what will emerge? And then DC Horror Presents Ghost Tour from Hell is leading, but I obviously voted for Animal Man on that one.
Yeah, but that just doesn't sound near as cool as the other one. I would vote for the other one.
Yeah, but I love Buddy Baker so much.
I know you do, but Madame Xanadu, come on, we haven't seen her in forever.
I mean, still, I mean, Madame Xanadu is always like the weakest part of everything she's in as far as like interestingness. Like Deadman and
Maybe
Etrigan,
this would change this.
or it'll be like her look at the tarot cards again, and we'll just be like, oh, okay, cool.
Look, even Animal Man gets more books than Madame Xanadu. So
I mean, I don't know about, I mean, as far as like self titles, but Xanadu's was in, Justice League Dark and whatnot for a good bit, whereas Buddy's just been in comic book limbo for a while.
okay, but when she was in Justice League Dark, wasn't he in Justice League United?
Maybe, but Dark lasted longer.
Revolving team, though.
Yeah. Okay, next up, because we didn't get enough Green Lantern. Green Lantern, The Birth of Conspiracy. In 1947, three events kindled America's fascination with UFOs: the Men in Black, flying saucer sightings, and the Roswell crash. Three low-level government employees tasked with monitoring superheroes realized that one person was at all three events: the Green Lantern. He hasn't been seen since. And the other one, this is the one I voted for, because I mean, if you know me, you know why. Captain Carrot and his best friend Darkseid. The interdimensional space epic no one asked for. Darkseid is trying to eliminate the newest new god, but the extremely furious, yes, we hate us too, Zoo Crew is determined to reach their long foretold Captain Carrot first, before friendship ruins everything. Can you guess which one's leading?
Not the Captain Carrot one.
Yup.
I would also vote Captain Carrot, because why have two Green Lantern books?
Who knows? Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow. Determined to find his place in a strange universe, Connor Kent / Superboy leaves Earth behind, but his journey of a self-discovery brings him face to face with a group of freedom fighters who challenge not just everything Connor stands for, but what it means to bear the Superman crest. Cyborg. Cyber gods. Cyborg has grown so powerful he no longer needs to leave his cold metal lair. He fights the good fight, but only virtually, with cyborg replicas. When the supervillain Gizmo and Clarion the Witch Boy mix magic and tech, they become powerful technomancers. Cyborg is joined by Beast Boy, who tries to remind him of his true power, his human spirit. Cyborg must reconnect with his human side and face the world, or Gizmo will become an omnipotent, unchallenged cyber god, and Clarion will get what he's always wanted: chaos and destruction. What about that one?
Probably the first one.
Yeah, same.
I think it's hilarious that it's like Cyborg has become a god, but the only one that could maybe stop him is Gizmo.
Yeah.
Which one's winning?
Superboy's winning that one. So yeah, as far as this goes right now,
that one I would genuinely want to read too, by the way, the Superboy one.
Unless like the creative team is trash, that's for sure one that I'm gonna vote for throughout, because it's gonna be next up will be Superboy versus the Green Lantern Birth of Conspiracy. DC Horror presents Ghost Tour from Hell versus Green Lantern, the other Green Lantern book. Then it's gonna be Kid Flash versus Justice League Redacted, Constantine and the Demon versus Hawkman, Aquamen.
Well, we'll just have to report back each week, see what happens.
Yeah. You want Hawkman to take it, to the end?
Yeah, probably. Here's the thing, though. If it's not a good enough writer, then it's gonna be trash.
Yeah. Well, okay, so,
and I know that can be said of anything, but like Venditti brought Hawkman back from the breach.
Here's my one counter argument, though, is like Venditti, the way you make it sounds like he kind of made sense of everything. So now where it was just kind of like a dumpster fire of like, mate, we can just do whatever we want. Now they have like an actual thing they can follow. Whereas, so this new writer can come in, really just read Venditti's run and be like, okay, I know how to, continue on their story. Which I'm not gonna say that's what's gonna happen, but like even like a medium good writer could do that versus like before, where it was just like, I don't know, are they aliens or people? What is going on?
There's the title right there. Oh yeah, not even DC knew the answer to that question. All right. Moving right along. This is another small thing, but it kind of bummed me out, so I wanted to talk about it. Bruce Willis has announced that he will be retiring from acting following a diagnosis of aphasia. And I had to look up what that was, and apparently it becomes really hard to like verbally communicate, which is really sad, really sad. I hope that he has a comfortable retirement.
Hope so too. I saw that too. Yeah, it really sucked. It and like I guess this year that the Razzies they were gonna even have like a whole category dedicated to him before this was all announced. You know, it was like gonna be it was the worst Bruce Willis performance because he had like multiple movies straight to DVD, and then they're like, "Ooh, we're not gonna do that anymore."
Yeah, I'm really glad that they didn't go through with that. Hey, I mean, at least he made that bag, even if it's straight to DVD.
Heck yeah, man. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sharon Stone joins the Blue Beetle cast as the villain Victoria Cord. They also cast Raoul Max as Carapax, the Indestructible Man. So
here's what sucks about that. Victoria Cord is not the character that was featured in 52 number 31 that we talked about the other week. So, and like I found like a small stack of them at the shop. So I was like, oh, this is going to be like $100, you know, like total.
Yeah.
And now it's like, ooh, never mind.
Should have sold that high.
Yep. All right. So HBO confirmed this week that their Game of Thrones spin-off show House of the Dragon will debut in August. So looking forward to that. Here's what's weird about that show. The show is focused on Aegon Targaryen, who was the dragon lord that brought the dragons over to Westeros, which is where the Game of Thrones universe, or the show is focused, the show of the books.
Where did he bring them from? If you don't mind, like, is that known?
It is. I sound like such a poser. I don't know. I can't think of it right now. It's been a long time since I've read him or watched him. So he's like this hunky, white-haired dragon riding warrior. They casted Matt Smith to play him.
Dude, it's weird, but Matt Smith, he has like a weird fangirl and probably fanboy network of just like, oh my gosh, his big face is so hunky.
Like I get like the whole like hipster nerdy look from Doctor Who, right? Like that's very clear why people would be into that, but he doesn't. I don't know, the still that we've seen him from the show. I can't take it seriously. Like it'll be different after I like watch an episode or two, but it's just like, dude, this is Aegon Targaryen, the Dragon Lord. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, okay, so I'm just gonna say this as someone that knows nothing about Game of Thrones except for like snippets, but how funny would it be? Because like Matt Smith, I know like just his way he carries himself and the way he talks. I've seen him enough interviews and crap. How funny would it be if he's just like one time where he's like, when you talk about this, make me talk, make me more buff and this type of thing. So like, and then that's why like everyone's like, oh yeah, he would be like this, he'd be a John Hamm but with white hair. and instead it's just old Matt Smith.
Yeah, like obviously he's a good enough actor that he can do the role. It's just I don't know about looking the role.
Yeah,
still gonna watch it, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of things we're gonna watch, by we I just mean me, we got a trailer for the new Ultraman series. It's called Ultraman Decker. It comes out July 9th. It's gonna be able to watch on the Super Raya YouTube page. It might just be Ultraman for YouTube page, but yeah, they have it like the same day with subtitles. it's pretty rad. That's
So
how I
did it
watched
look
all of
good?
Trigger. I mean, okay, so Ultraman's a kids show at the end of the day. So I mean, like, I'm not like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be the best, but I'm like, yeah, it looks like it's gonna be fun. That's about what I, how I was with Trigger. So it's
Right.
gonna be a good time to watch.
Okay. Speaking of things that I think we'll both probably watch, I guess this was announced a while back, but I didn't catch wind of it until this week. Marvel is doing a Disney Plus Halloween special that's going to be a live action Werewolf by Night. Now, I wasn't that excited at first, but the guy that's doing it has a pretty neato story. Um, it's Michael Giacchino, I guess is how you would say that. And he's actually a composer. He did he's got like 90 some credits for music department. But he did the score for the Batman, which was a good score.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did Rogue One, maybe, and I want to say like the new Star Treks or something like that.
Okay.
So like he's done cool stuff. Oh, and Falcon and Winter Soldier, that too. So like I guess his career kind of started as like a production assistant on like a Marvel movie or something. And then he got in the music stuff, and then he did all these scores, and he did the Batman, and now he gets his chance to make his own show, which I think is super cool, and it really makes me root for this guy. I hope that it turns out great.
Yeah, no, I agree, dude. That's really cool. It's kind of funny. Probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I actually saw that this was a thing, but like when I saw it, it was old news. I'm like, we had to have reported on this. I just don't remember.
No, we didn't.
So I was like, I won't even say anything about it because this is old news.
I know. I guess the thing is, though, is that I know that they already casted the person, but they were looking for a Latino male in his 30s. So I think they're going to go with Jake Gomez, who was the most recent Werewolf by Night that was written by Taboo and
I gotcha.
Earl, which, might be better because then I'm not going to be an old curmudgeon about they ruined my Jack Russell.
That's why I'm like really rooting that Sam Alexander gets a live action role,
Yeah, I feel you. So we'll see. If anyone ever wants to talk about Werewolf by Night, I'm your guy. I have every issue of the series. I've read it a couple times through. I really like it, even though this is probably not going to be that same one. But
it still might be. Like, I have a feeling no matter which one they do, they're gonna combine stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's probably true.
Probably combine stuff from both of those and some from the Wolfman, because you need to try to get the whole audience, as a whole involved. Yeah. So like, it's probably gonna be some stuff like that, which should be neat, Yeah, hopefully.
I agree.
Speaking of Disney Plus, I'm like this close. I got an email because I'm like on Hulu, and they're like, "Hey, add Disney Plus for $2.99." I'm like, I might do that.
You totally should. It's so worth it.
I know.
It's so worth
it. It's just one of those things where it's like another streaming service.
I understand.
But okay, so Gail Simone teased that she's going to be writing a new team type thing, and then she's like, it's not a comic book, but it's a comic book that a team that I'm known to write. So everyone's thinking it's probably going to be Secret Six, and she says as a script for like either a TV show or movie. I could see HBO Max doing a Secret Six, wanting a Secret Six TV show or movie after Suicide Squad's, stuff.
And she's also known for Birds of Prey.
Yeah, I could see that too. So it's probably one of those two. Like, I would personally want Secret Six over Birds of Prey.
Yeah,
but
I've not read a lot. I've read a couple issues of that Secret Six run, but I didn't know who any of the characters were because I didn't start from the beginning. But dude, as you know, that has a like huge following. So.
Yeah, Nick read all of it and he said it was great. And like there was like, it sounds very like Peter David X Factory though, where it'll be like, oh hey, here's Bane, because we don't know what to do with them. So you get Bane. So then Gale would write Bane really well, this type of stuff. And it
Yeah.
was so it's not like there was a lot of that where it's just like, here's this character, do something with them. I don't know if that's how it was, but that's how it sounds.
Plus, it's got Catman.
Yeah.
And that was cool. All right. I'll save my really stupid one for last. So we'll do a couple comic-y ones. Peach Momoko, it was announced this week that she will continue her Demon Days saga as Demon Wars: The Iron Samurai, and that will come out in July, and it looks to be the Demon Days version of Civil War. And the Iron Samurai just looks like Iron Man as a samurai. It looks amazing, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
It would. So being a fan of this last run, I'm absolutely stoked to check out this one too.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Like when that stuff's all done, the Demon Days stuff is all done and it's all demon collected, I'm gonna have to demon check it out.
You should. I think you'll demon like it.
Yeah. Well, I like the first one. It was just then like the 2 years later when the second issue came out, I forgot all about it. So I just didn't check it out.
It was a quarterly book.
Yeah.
And then I'll do this other one because your last one's way cooler than this. But to not my surprise, Casey, I don't know about yours.
No, we even talked about this.
Yes. Shang-Chi will be canceled after number 12, and number 13 is going to be repurposed into a new series titled Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings, and that number 1 will be out in July. It will be the exact same creative team. So I think this is the third number 1 in a 2-year span.
I mean, if you count that one shot's 4.
That's true.
Like, I think they just need to do, and we talk about this all the time, 2 numbers on every book. And then because then that would also be really good for new readers. You could be like, because someone could come in and be like, hey, this book's number 175. I like this character because I saw him in a movie, but I don't know where to start. You're like, well, look at the other number. It says 3. Go to 1 on those other numbers, and then you're gonna be good. Like, oh, okay, thanks, Jake. You're my hero. And that's how it would always work. It'd be great.
Yeah. So you're talking like legacy numbering?
Yeah, whatever that means.
I mean, they do that now. So like on Spider-Man, it's number 93, but then if you look under that number,
yeah, exactly, do that.
Okay.
Do that with all of them because that makes perfect sense. But not even that though. Instead of having it go to 93, have it stop at the arc. So
right.
As soon as actually with this whole Beyond stuff coming out every day, it might be at 93. Who knows? Yeah. But since they want to end it at these arcs, then just end the numbering, and then start up again. That's all you have to do. You don't have to, new series, new title. You don't have to do that.
Right. Well, hey, I mean, they stopped asking us for our advice. So what can you do?
Well, I know what we can do, man. We can jump ship to a new company, a new old company called Gold Key Comics. They're under new ownership. I don't know who they bought them from, but honestly, the way it sounded is like this big comic book nerd who had money and a couple other people. They all got together and they bought Gold Key Entertainments, and it was money, and also the first issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was part of the trade to get really. That's what Bleeding Cool. I think it was Bleeding Cool said, and
that
the
is thing. Awesome.
Yeah, and so it's really neat. They're gonna they want to make a major comeback, so they want to work with talented creators. He's said that he's got some writers and stuff, or he in talks to. They're not really the big names, but they're the ones that he likes reading, and also likes seeing the art of. Wouldn't say names though. And then he also just wants to look at past Gold Key titles that they can get. So they're actually in talks with the Boris Karloff foundation or whatever to try to get Boris Karloff books now, because didn't he have like a Gold Key series that was like a horror series?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so they're wanting to bring that back. If they do, I mean, gotta call John Lees for that for sure.
It was Boris Karloff's Tales of Mystery.
Okay. And so yeah, they're doing that, and they're also on their website. If you are a writer slash artist that has like an idea for a story, at least 6 issues, they have a submission page, which is bonkers. And
those haven't been around in a long time,
dude. I remember those like early 2000s. So that was like and then that stopped. And then the comics are also, they said they want to make them look like they did when they were collecting comics. So it's gonna be like a more old school look. They're like, it's gonna cost a lot to produce. So like, it's got me worried that this is not gonna work, because they're like, it's gonna cost a lot to produce. That means it's gonna cost a lot to buy. And who's gonna want to buy, like a $10 Boris Karloff Gold Key book,
I get that, but if they make it to where it's actually worth $10, like $10 worth of content,
yeah,
it could work.
But again, though, I mean, the thing that I'd be worried about is if it's just, I mean, I get that they're trying to do it, but they still do it like the content wise the same as a normal comic, but they try to, because they want it to be looking a certain way, and it's just kind of like, oh guys, come on, that's not a good business model.
Yeah, I wish them all the luck in the world.
I do too. I'm rooting for them. Cool. I think no matter what your opinion is on this type of stuff, it's always good to get more people involved, because then that means there's more, like, you don't want just Marvel. Even if you are the biggest Marvel fan, you want competition for all of the comics. So
yeah,
any competition's good if you're a comic book fan.
Whenever this happens, whatever they put out first, whether Casey wants it or not, I will make sure that we each get a copy and read it for this podcast.
And hey, I'll make sure I tweet it if it's good. If it's terrible, we'll just be like, we will not speak of this Gold Key. But if it's like good, we'll try to get the old Mr. and Mrs. Gold Key on.
Yes, for sure. Comics favorite couple, Mr. and Mrs. Gold Key. All right, my last one.
I love that you saved this for last too, by the way,
dude, because I thought that we could like dunk on it a little bit.
Fair enough.
All right, Casey, and this was brought to my attention by my friend Alex, who is a part of the Testing Room Pod. He sent this to me and he said, I'd love to hear your opinion on it. So DC Comics, well, not DC Comics, DC in general, is looking to sell 200,000 Batman cowl NFTs for about $300 a piece, for a net total $60 million. Now, Casey, I don't want to assume how you feel about certain things. I think NFTs are stupid.
They are very dumb. They're one of those things, though, where it's like, I've looked at them and it's like, oh, this would be an easy way to make money off of stupid people. But I wasn't quick, like, because there's this thing called NBA Top Shot, and people would get them and then they would just drop like hundreds of thousands of dollars on gifts of these NBA players dunking. And this was my first foray in NFTs. And I was like, I mean, I'm not gonna wait, because you'd have to wait like hours to get a pack. Like, I'm not gonna wait hours to get a pack and not get anything good and have to drop $50 for a pack of fake basketball cards. That's not a thing I'm going to do. I'm done. I'm out with the NFTs. But I do think they're like a easy way to take advantage of stupid people.
Yeah.
So good on DC for taking advantage of a bunch of idiots, more than likely. What about you, man? What's your opinion on it? Other than it's stupid.
I mean, I think you're correct in saying it's a good way to take advantage of dumb people. Look, if you want to waste your money on an NFT, then by all means do it. The thing that bugs me is like, how insufferable comic nerds can be. And I've seen on the internet how insufferable NFT crypto people are. A mix of the two. Like, if you're one of the person or people that's just like, you just don't understand. No, and I don't want to. And I don't want you to try to make me understand it. I think
Yeah.
that if you spend $300 a piece on these stupid Batman Cal NFTs, that you're a moron. But I also say live your life. If you want to be the moron that spends money on the NFT, then go for it. But it's a no from me, dog.
I mean, I'll say like you're less of a moron if you're the type of person that's doing NFTs, and like I always look at it as a way of just moving your money around. So like let's say you buy the $300 of this NFT and then you're able to flip it really quick. Like you think that you could flip it for let's say 600, then you have $600 and you can invest in a new NFT and then flip it again. It's like, good on you. That's how you need to be doing your NFTs. If you're an NFT guy, you do not want to sit on it. Do not want to sit on NFT because it's just going to go down in price. And you're like, I have $1 million in board Batman 859.
Right.
And my wife's going to leave me over it. So
yeah. These are not long game items.
Yeah. It's just keep flipping. treat it like the USA gymnastic team and just keep flipping,
There you go. So yeah, if you want to be one of the idiots that buys one of these things, those go on sale starting April 26th. But I think owners of like previous, because I think at last year's DC Fandom, like if you registered a you got an NFT, you get some sort of like exclusive pre-sale access to these bat cowls. So there you go.
Yeah, and hey, if you end up getting one of these cowls, like let us know so we can stop making fun of you.
I mean, I think at this point they're probably like, screw these guys. I'm not going to listen to their show anymore, which fair enough.
They're like, I'm going to call in to this show and I'm going to explain NFTs to them. Yes. No, you don't want to flip them. You want to sit on them, guys. Yeah.
All right. That is the end of the news segment. So we're going to take our ad break and then we'll come back and talk comics. So we'll be right back. All right, Casey, what's the topic this week?
I don't know, man. It was kind of funny this morning. I'll tell you about this. So this weekend, like from like Thursday to, Monday morning, I ate like crap the whole time. Like when, we're in Louisville, like one day I had a chicken donut sandwich for breakfast along with a couple other donuts, and then like another day I had apple pie waffles for breakfast, and then like barbecue.
Is that legit pieces of apple pie in the batter?
No, it was like the apple pie filling.
Yeah,
it was that inside of the waffles. Okay. And then like, it was delicious. And then barbecue for dinner, and I'm trying to think what else we had for dinner. Oh, we had chicken, and I had chicken waffles for lunch one day. And then Bree stopped at Cheesecake Factory and got me some cheesecake too. So when I got home, I stepped on the scale this morning. You want to guess all the sugar, all the salt, all the fat, all the high calories, that like how much it jumped up for me?
I'm going to guess 7 pounds.
10 pounds.
Oh no.
Like it's one of those things where I did the math. I might have it still up on my calculator. So like for those that don't know, 1 pound would be 3,500 calories. So like there's no way that this actually worked. So that means I would have ate 3,500 calories out. I mean, more over 35,000 calories, because of the fact that you also have to factor in I walked, I was active. I wasn't just like sitting in a chair, rolling it around, having them like funnel food in my mouth. And so like, I mean, I was eating, like according to the math, over 88,750 calories a day from Thursday to Sunday, which I'm like, I don't think that's a thing. So like, I know a lot of it's water weight and stuff, but it's just hilarious when I saw it. So I'm like, oh dang, that's not good.
So what's the plan to bring that back down?
Well, so an early birthday gift to me was a Tough Mudder Infinity in August. So that is a regular Tough Mudder, but for 10 hours straight. So you just keep doing laps. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna be working at that. So like today, I have a running plan now that I set up for myself where it's like today was 5 miles, tomorrow's 6, 7, 8, and then when I get to Friday, I go back down to 5, and I'm like trying to be at the time that I did the first 5, and then Saturday it's 3 miles as hard as I can go. And I write that time down. Then next week I'm doing 6 miles, 7, 8, and then it's the same stagger. Where then like at the end, right before like on Friday, then I'm doing the 6 again instead of 5, and then the next week will be 7. Just working your way up that way. So
Boy,
yeah.
that does sound terrible.
I mean, I've got to the point now where it's like, you knew me in high school, so you know how crazy this sounds, but I actually really like running. I put a podcast on and I'm just lightly jogging. It's not too bad.
I can't do it anymore. I didn't
Yeah.
like it when I did it in high school, and now I just don't want to. I don't want to run.
That's fair, man. It's the whole thing with cardio is you just find one that you can like either tolerate or like, and then you just do that. Because I mean, you need cardio. Like even if it's just walking, if you're like, I like walking, fucking do it.
Oh yeah, my fiance and I go on walks all the time.
Yeah,
we walk
that's all
the time.
Like you just need some cardio for heart health reasons. I mean, really, because it's like, I think it's like 150 minutes a week of cardio to keep your ticker tickering. That's all, that's really what you need. What I'm doing here, it's more just for, training. And I don't think very many people are going to be like, no, I want to run 10 hours straight. So I don't think that's very many people that are like, this is a normal thing I want to do. So
right. You need to go into the hyperbolic time chamber.
Dude, I wish I could, but you know what would happen? They have like a fridge that's never ending. I would just leave there fatter.
Fair enough.
You went in there and now you're 100 pounds heavier. It's like, it was just hard to force myself to train, but this is muscle, I swear.
Oh gosh. All right, folks, welcome back. Thanks for listening to the ad. If you want to, over on our YouTube channel, which is Two Roots Podcast on YouTube, Casey and I have a talk about all the weight that he put on over the weekend.
If you can't tell, listen to me, I got fatter.
So that's fun. And but you know what? I believe in Casey, and he is going to lose it all. Maybe not just as fast, but it's gonna happen. I believe in you.
I'm gonna say this in all honesty, like I was saying there, a lot of that's more than likely water weight just from high salt and water intake and all that stuff. So it's like, it probably wasn't the whole amount that I gained. Probably is gonna be like, it's probably gonna be back down to like, maybe gain 2 pounds or whatever, like that's a more believable versus what actually happened.
All right. But anyway, Casey, what comics did you read?
I read The Amazing Spider-Man, number 93, Swamp Thing, 11 of 16, The Hulk, number 5, Newburn, number 5, Ghostrider, number 2, Shadow War Alpha, number 1, Aquamen, number 2, Ironfist, number 2, and Silk, number 3. What about you?
I read DC versus Vampires 6, Aquamen 2, Silk number 3, Ironfist number 2, and Shadow War Alpha.
Okay, man. I will get us started with the Amazing Spider-Man, Spider versus Spider in this double-sized finale, issue 93. And this is by... Oh, they put on the last page, I remember. Or not the last page, because there's like 50 epilogues in this. So then they're like, oh, we'll have to do it on this one page. But I think it's got Zeb Wells and Pat Gleason on this. And I mean, this was all right. Like, I don't know. It was just very much like, I don't know.
I heard that Ben Reilly fans aren't super thrilled.
Yeah, did Mike read this? I'm just curious if he's read this and what his opinions are. All right.
So I want to say this, having not read it, I skipped to the end because I heard of the whole kerfuffle, and this is spoilers for a few seconds. Chasm or whatever he's become looks awesome. What a cool costume.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, that's all I have to say on it.
Yeah, I mean, in this, it's like Ben Reilly's brain has been slowly like deteriorating with the way that they've done things, and like he's being way too easily manipulated. It was just like, it just seemed like it was like an easy, like, oh, we need these two Spider-Men to fight because it's gonna look cool, and then he's being a jerk, and he kind of just gives up at the end, and then we have some little bits here and there, and then we like MJ and old PDP are gonna be living together, and then this big light hits them, and then we also see some Ben Reilly stuff. Yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was just kind of like, I don't know, we got the two Spider-Man things, and like it started off really, really cool, and then it's kind of like, for me personally, it just kind of ended on a whimper versus like starting off really good. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10, and this whole Beyond stuff, probably I'm gonna go pretty low with it because it's like it did not need to be weekly. So I'm gonna probably go 4 out of 10 for it as a whole. It might be way better collected, but just trying to read this crap weekly with it not being near good enough for that just didn't work for me.
Yeah, weekly titles rarely ever work unless you're Future's End.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're going to do a book like this, like you need better communication between the creatives, because there's times where it's like Zeb would be doing one thing and then Kelly would just be doing something like completely different. And then it was just like, oh yeah, well, when Kelly comes back to it, that's when we're going to be, discussing this stuff. And when Zeb does his thing, that's when we're going to be discussing. It's like, guys, come on.
Yeah.
Get out of here with that. Like, at least have more communication, have it, meld together better.
Right.
But I'm gonna give the next run probably like 2 issues, maybe 1, depending on how much I hate the art.
Okay.
Did you only have one book that we didn't read together? Okay, so I'm gonna go talk about Swamp Thing really quick. So this is the Swamp Thing. It's kind of funny. I saw the cover that said season 2 begins here. I didn't realize that this was a mini series, so I was like, yeah, I'll just hop in at season 2. This will be perfect. And boy, a good jumping on point would have been just issue 1. But
see, I didn't think it was that. I thought it was just a continuation of the other series.
I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I just thought like, oh, it's season 2 begins here, so this will be, even though I haven't read the other 11, this will be fine. They'll get me up to speed, and yeah. But so it's Jericho's Rose and Ram V and Mike Perkins. The art in it is very good. The story itself is very cool, and I'm not gonna lie, it has me wanting to read this run. Not just because everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Ram V's Swamp Thing is like one of the best comics out right now," but I'm gonna give this an incomplete grade though, because I, not knowing really anything that's going on, just seeing kind of how cool the art is. And I do know I want to read more of it, but
well, then just do thumbs up or thumbs down.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up then.
Okay.
because it's like it's very clearly cool. There's nothing about that made me go, I don't think this is very interesting. I'm like, I think this is very interesting. I just don't know what's going on.
Right. Okay, I'm going to talk about DC versus Vampires number 6. It's written by James Tynan and Matthew Rosenberg with art by Otto Schmidt and Simone DeMeo. Again, they don't credit DeMeo on the cover, and if I were them, I would be furious.
Yeah.
But anyway, the big part of this issue is that we learn who the leader of the vampires is. And I can see that Casey had it spoiled for him. Who is it, Casey?
It is old Dickie Grayson.
It is.
I mean, I wasn't interested in reading this issue, and I'm glad I didn't spend my money on it because, oh boy, that looked terrible.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a low point for the series. The thing is like I'm halfway through this, and like with Casey on Crush and Lobo, I just kind of have to see it through at this point.
So you should have jumped off with me,
No, I'm going down with the ship. And not all of it was bad. Like the art's still like ridiculous. And some parts were fun. Green Arrow is like really cool in this issue. And like Jason Todd is too, which was pretty neato. But yeah, I don't know why they went with Nightwing.
Like just reading what I read, it sounds like they should have gone more with Tim Grayson versus Nightwing, because there's a whole part when
Grayson.
Sorry, Tim Drake. Well, that's after they got married. Tim and Dick got married.
Right. Yeah.
He took his name.
Right.
But no, Tim Drake, because there's a part when he's talking, Dick is talking to Tim, and he's like, yeah, your little friend Corey, we can, like, it's just like, that's Dick's friend. It's not the other way around. Like, what are you doing? It's like,
yeah,
Tynan and Rosenberg, you guys know this stuff. You guys are better than this. What is going on?
Yeah. I'm hoping that this was just sort of a fluke, because I've liked the other issues, and I know that you fell off, but I was still digging it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just hoping that this was a fluke. So I'm gonna give this one a 5, and we'll see what happens.
Part of me thinks it's just like Tynan and Rosenberg going like, no, we just want a story where Green Arrow gets to kill vampires. And we don't really care about anything else.
Right. And I mean, if that were the case, then they're nailing it.
Yeah, that's what he sounds. Okay, so Hulk number 5 by Donny Cates and Ryan Ottley. This is still selling out at your store, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bonkers. So yeah, you get Hulk fighting a like Hulk Spider-Man basically, and then like his inner head stuff with Betty, and him trying to like make the Hulk matter by pulling up the lever, the different levels and stuff. And like it looks like Bruce is losing control. It's wild. This is like such a wild ride of a book. And the last page, it says to be concluded.
Yeah, I wondered about that.
So I don't know how that's gonna work.
I'm hoping that it's just the arc.
Yeah, it's still just it. The only downside of this is like it's such lazy writing on Donny Cates's part. Just to be like, no, I'm not like Casey. I didn't read Immortal Hulk. I'm just gonna do my own thing. Like that's the laziest writing in the world to me, and I hate it so much. That's like the only downside of this book. Other than that, it's bonkers, it's stupid, and it's a good time. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. It's just like you could have at least like done something other than just the laziest way of just being like, nah, we're not even worried about that.
Right. I will say this. I think number 6 is going to sell out nationwide everywhere.
Yeah, why is that?
I heard a rumor that that issue is going to be Hulk's version of Null, showing up.
Okay.
And I mean, the issue of Venom that Cates wrote with Null at one point was selling for $300 raw. So
You know what's gonna happen if that happens with this? I'm gonna make $300.
I know, right? At that point, it's like, I'll read the trade.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that invested in this.
Yeah, we'll see. But because we're talking about it now, everyone's going to be ordering it, and it's
Yeah,
not going to be that valuable.
burn it.
But who knows?
Gonna get that Two Worlds podcast bump, and it's just not gonna work out
I
for
know,
it.
right? I know.
Okay, so next up is Newburn by Chip Zdarsky and Jacob Phillips, number 5. This one's really cool. Newburn's in prison, and it's kind of funny. I was like, did I miss something with this? Because like, why the heck is he in prison? And so then he's got this one dude as his, like this kind of like, he looks like he could be an accountant type of guy as his person that's, his bunkmate. And people there don't really like Newburn too much because he's put a lot of them away, either as a cop or as an informant for the different, groups. And this his ex, his bunk mate was talking to him and kind of revealed that he gave up some of the Russian mob people. And then like Newburn's like, okay, cool. And he just goes and he calls, like, that's why he was there, to find out for sure what happened. And so he calls up them, and then like you just see like a bunch of mobsters just walk up the stairs to where the room is, and Newburn just watches them, and then it's like, yep, they killed that guy. And then Newburn just gets out of prison, and that's how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good one. This is a really enjoyable story. It's still like, the nice thing about this, where like I complain about other books like not having good jumping on points, every issue is a good jumping on point. So if you're just like, just want to give this a try, do it. It's a good, it's a good time. Yeah, it's a 8.5 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
And then lastly is Ghostrider number 2. This is by Benjamin Percy with Corey Smith and Brent Peoples doing the art. And this is still pretty cool. We get some more of the FBI Shield, goth girl, and then we also get Ghostrider not really knowing what's going on, and get a really creepy dude that works at the hotel, and yeah, he's like worshiping this evil monster thing. And like when Ghostrider shows up, this part just had me laughing way too hard because it wasn't supposed to be funny. But Ghostrider's fighting this monster. Like the dude's like got all these people ready to be sacrificed to it. And then, Ghostrider shows up and he's like, penance. And then the whole hotel caretaker just breaks his own neck.
Oh my gosh.
That's
brutal.
Yeah. And then then Ghostrider has a big fight. And then it kind of ends with like, it's kind of Hulk like, where Hulk leaves like the old Hulk comics where like he doesn't really know what he's doing. Like the Johnny Blaze does not know what he's doing as Ghostrider. He just kind of wakes up, a lot of stuff's destroyed. And so like now this hotel's destroyed, and the FBI agent lady's like, we got to find that Skull Man, So it's interesting. I'm really liking the series. This probably wasn't as cool as the first issue, but I'm all in on this book. So I'm going to give it also an 8.5 out of 10. I liked it. Okay, man. So what order do you want to do our last books in?
Let's do Aquaman, Silk, Shadow War, Ironfist.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So Aquaman number 2. And this was written by Chuck Brown and Brandon Thomas. And art is done by Sammy Basri. So what do you think of this one?
The art in it's great. I like everyone. And like this is like we talked about before we started. It's like, boy, Jackson is one of those characters I want to like.
but he is just too darn angsty in this book for me to enjoy. I like Black Manta in this book. I like Aquaman in this book. I like Garth in this book. I like Mara in this book. But Jackson's just too angsty. What about you, man?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It's like he's just taking more steps backward the farther
Yeah.
we get, and I don't understand why they're doing that.
I mean, I get like being upset over, you're kind of a jerk dad and your mom and stuff, but it's like you would think you have enough time with Aquaman and like your kind of adopted family to give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. And he just doesn't. And it's kind of confusing. Like it's one of those books where it's like I'm one more issue in and I might be done. It's just like I wanna enjoy an Aquaman book, and I invested so much in that becoming book because I was like I want this one, and so it's like I'm not ready to give up on it yet.
Yeah, well, I think I have given up on it, sadly. Unless you're like, dude, the next one it all turns around, then I'll pick it up. But
Yeah,
otherwise, I'm at like a good maybe 4 on this one.
yeah, I'm at a 6. Like the art in it is outstanding, and it's like you cut Jackson out of this. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like I said, Jackson's got too much edge. He's one of those kids that would be like at school and like have his lighter and like have his hand over it, Like that's how edgy he is right now in this book.
Yeah.
It's annoying. All right, so next up is Silk by Emily Kim and Takashi Miyazawa on the art. And
The
I
art
like,
on this tissue paper.
yeah, that's the only downside to this book is like, and this is still better than how Shang-Chi felt. And I don't remember what other Marvel book I read last week where it was like way worse than this even. But yeah, it's cool. I love J. Jonah Jameson in this still. And I also just love how like Cindy kind of shows how even though she's trying to be a good reporter, but she's also like like Pete, when he was trying to do stuff as a reporter with Spider-Man, like he was very smart about it. Cindy's like, you know, in hindsight, I could have just took pictures of myself and it's just like didn't even occur to her until later on that she could have done this.
Right.
I thought that was really funny. So yeah, no, I enjoyed it a good bit. What do you think, man?
I like it. I think the ancient witch stuff is cool. I like Cindy just as like a character, like when she's just being Cindy.
Mhm.
Um, then we got that pretty crazy ending. I
And
also really appreciate her relationship with her brother.
yeah,
Right? It's
and
just fun.
and we got a great, amazing cover too.
Oh,
Like
dude, it's insane.
wonderful.
So yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about
The,
this
the
series.
only thing that really kind of dragged for me, I don't know if it did for you, but was the witch's backstory stuff. I thought that just was like there was a little bit too much of that. But other than that, I really like this issue. I love this series. I love Silk. Who knew?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it drug. I don't know though. I mean, it was just like 2 pages.
Yeah, but I don't think it needed to be, is the thing. I don't think we needed her whole spiel. Maybe 1 page at most.
Fair enough. I mean,
I would
didn't bother me.
yeah, I would have just rather had more her with J. Jonah Jameson, her regular stuff versus that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm at like a 9.5 on this. I really liked it. It was one of the better books this week.
Yeah, I'm at a 9 for it. I really enjoyed it too. Like I said, if it wasn't for that, it probably would have been a 10 for me because I really, really liked it.
Excellent. All right. Now that brings us to Shadow War Alpha. I hate that they put a number on this because it's the alpha, but there's not going to be an alpha number 2. But anyway, This was written by Joshua Williamson, and the art is done by Victor Bogdanovich. I thought this was pretty neat, dude. Did you like it?
Dude, I loved it. This was
Good.
like this is everything you want from the beginning of a big crossover event book. And one thing though that did make me laugh, I don't know if it made you laugh, but when they're talking, I'll find it really quick because it was okay. So when right as Raish turned himself in, it goes to Brian Markov, former superhero and Prince. It's like Leviathan bought my home country in a fraudulent deal while my family's lawyers and I were battling this in the courts. Talia al Ghul's hostile takeover of Leviathan led to the tragedy of Markova. Has a little asterisk. And it's like, as if you missed the events of Leviathan and Checkmate. It's like, I did.
Dude, no, I'm so glad you brought that up because when reading it, I was laughing at that and then I forgot about it.
But like that had me laughing. But everything else about this, I just thought like this was, like I said, everything you want from a book that is, a big old event and it's on like real paper, not on what Marvel prints on.
So like my big beef with this is that so Roz like turns himself in and he's like, I just want to share just the wonderful Lazarus pits with everyone and like save the future. It's like, okay, but like there's so many problems when people go in those. So why do you want the entire world to do it? Like, how is that going to help everyone? So I thought like his big plan was pretty dumb.
So personally, I'm just going to say this. He's dying. Like, that's how it starts off. He's coughing up blood and whatever. And then he's like, oh, he tells Talia, he's like, you'll see. And then like also his hot mom is like, the pits are cursed. And so then, it's like, it's all this stuff that's leading me to believe. And then like also Deathstroke goes, I haven't worn this armor in years. And all this stuff. It makes me go, Raish is planning this all out. Like this is 100% Raish just like pulling all the strings. It's, he wasn't actually wanting to share this. There is something going on with the pits, blah, blah, blah. That's what I think, but I could be wrong on that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that definitely could be. I mean, if that's what happens, then I'll take back what I said.
Yeah.
But anyway, I loved the Deathstroke stuff, like a whole bunch. I think all of the like the demon shadow people that it showed on that splash page, like all of them look super cool. I can't wait to see most of them die during this series.
But you got your boy, your Sportsmaster boy.
Is that who it was though? Because like at first I'm like, that looks like Sportsmaster, but then he's only got 2 guns on him.
I still think I'm in my head canon, it's Sportsmaster. I'll say that. How about we got Merlin and Sportsmaster for sure. It's gotta be.
And also Raptor from Seeley's Moon Knight run.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, otherwise I think they'll look really cool. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this one.
Yep. This is like it's 100% like if Joshua Williamson was going fishing and I'm a big mouth bass because he caught me.
Okay, so what would you rate it?
I'm at a 10 because like it's everything you want from like the beginning of a big event book. It's awesome.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'd be giving it a 9 because the plan thing, like that's the only thing.
Yeah. All right, so last up is Ironfist #2 by Alyssa Wong and Michael Eeg. Maybe that's how you say it. Do you think that sounds good?
Yeah, sure.
And Sean Shen on the art. So yeah, what'd you think, man?
I liked it. I think it's cool. I like the like how the bullies of Kunlun are kind of handled. And I like the new what's her name?
Thunder.
Yeah, the Thunder. I think she's pretty cool too. The only thing that I don't really understand is like the sword shards being in his hands. Like, I understand if they're like under the skin, but some of these he could just like pull out and it would probably hurt a lot less. So I don't understand that so much. But maybe that'll get explained. But anyway, I like seeing all the training stuff. I like that Danny Rand is still involved. I can't wait for them to like have that kind of mentor student role.
I don't get why they don't already. It's not like you don't like this kid. I mean, he's working with Kun Lung. They know who Danny Rand is.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I just want to like highlight this art because this is terrible. Danny Rand here.
Oh, his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like everyone else looks great. And then Danny Rand just like looks coked out of his mind.
Yeah, he really does.
but
yeah.
Just
for that one panel, I don't understand it.
Yeah. And then because like everybody in this book though, outside of that, looks awesome.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the story itself, I do enjoy. It's just like they haven't given us a good reason why no Danny with him, because it's not like Danny's like, I need the power back, and, you know, or anything like that. Like he's not doing that type of crap. So yeah, it's kind of dumb that way.
I agree. I will just say that we know that it's going to happen.
Yeah,
they're just showing us like him being the Iron Fist for now. So, you know, it's 2 issues in, and it's still better than like Aquamen that's also 2 issues in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm probably like an 8.5 on that one.
I'm at an 8, so basically the same on that one.
Cool. And what are you excited for next week?
So next week, I'm gonna say I'm excited for Batman because, you know, the one book was awesome. The Thing, excited for that, and I'll give you She-Hulk, so I'll go Strange.
Okay. Fair enough. So I'm gonna go She-Hulk, probably Moon Knight, and then I'm gonna say Batman Beyond Neo Year. That's like a new, I think it's gonna be 6 issues, but
is that the Keanu Reeves crossover, or is that not?
No, that's a different one. But also like Sumerian Hour of the Dragon could be up there too. I'm kind of surprised, Casey, that you didn't pick Flashpoint.
I mean, it was on the short list for sure.
Yeah, I feel you.
I hope that book sells well for you. I'll just say that.
Me too. It needs to. I ordered a lot of them.
Yeah. Okay, man. So it's Fantastic Four time. You ready?
Yes, I definitely was prepared for this.
Okay, well, this one's pretty, I think, gonna be pretty fun. So I got Rise Supplements is a company that does, like, you know, pre-workouts and stuff and proteins. They came out with a Godzilla pre-workout. It's officially Toho licensed and everything. So I got that in the mail the other day. It's all right, but it's, you know, been using that. So that just had me thinking, like, if you could get like any 4 characters that you think would be like comic book characters that you'd be like, they'd be ones I'd want to pre-workout of, who would they be? What would the flavors be too?
Oh, why'd you have to throw flavors in there?
Well, because you're a creative guy. You can come up with something, man.
Probably go like Richard Dragon would probably be one that I would like feel okay about ordering.
Yeah, you get dragon fruit flavored then.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. One for the laughs, Hercules. It'd probably be like beer flavored.
Yeah.
But I could see him like promoting his pre-workout.
100%.
Another one that I could see promoting their workout supplement would be Booster Gold.
Yeah, I was gonna say that goes without saying.
Yeah, I think it would be like it'd be like a blue raspberry and something for the blue and gold spin, you
Maybe
know?
maybe he would do like there would be the blue raspberry pre-workout, but then the post-workout would be like the golden Oreo whey protein.
Yeah, exactly. See, there we go. Um, and then the final one. Man, I see. I don't know too much about this character, but you could tell me if it fits here. Wonder Man,
More than likely, yeah. I mean, I don't know enough
because
about
he's
Wonder
like
Man,
an
but
actor, right?
yeah,
So
he
I
was.
could see him promote like a workout thing.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think if they could get one of the flashes, that'd be like an easy, be like this lightning raspberry or whatever, like that
Right.
easy. And then booster gold is just cake. And then I would love a Sonic one, have it be hedgehog flavor.
What is wrong with you?
And then trying to think of like another pretty solid one. Like like do a Johnny Storm, just like hot cinnamon one. Be terrible.
That sounds so bad.
It's like,
I'm
this
not
is
big on cinnamon, like hot cinnamon stuff,
yeah.
anyways. But dude,
Like do hot cinnamon. It's like, ooh, this has also got capsium in it from the pepper plants.
oh gosh. All right. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the episode. So, closing plugs. If you would, please go to facebook.com/2worldspodcast and give the page a like. You can also follow us on Twitter at 2_worlds_PC and on Instagram at 2worldspod. You can email us at 2worldspodcast@gmail.com. And if you would, please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. That is 2worlds Podcast on YouTube.
And then tell us on the YouTube like who you want to see a pre-workout or post-workout, of, and like just be really silly with it, But we'd love to stay in chat, but we've got to go to someone's.
We gotta go. One sec. I'm gonna edit this so it works better. I got the giggles now. We gotta go to someone's house. It doesn't help that I'm looking at you. We gotta go to someone's house and tell them we're gonna fucking bury you. Bye, guys.
Bye.